Hello, everyone. Yes, welcome to our first Cuppa Chat interview. Exciting times we've got here ahead of us on the GLJ Theatre Facebook page, YouTube, whatever you're watching it on, you'll enjoy it. I know you will. And today we're joined by our first Cuppa star, Cuppa Chat star even. It's the lovely Victoria Lucy. Hello.
Hello, lovely.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you?
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here today and to have a little bit of a chinwag for 15 minutes or so. I hope that's all right with you.
Sounds great. Yeah, let's go for it.
Perfect. So before we start any Cuppa Chat, I like to know, because I always have a little cup here. I've got my Crash Bandicoot cup with me today. And I like to know what you're drinking during the interview. So tell us what you've got, show us.
This is a sloth.
Oh.
And it's not much left. I was drinking a lot of it earlier, but it's just normal tea.
Tea?
Just builder's tea, yeah.
Any
Devon
sugar?
Lass. No, I don't like sugar. Do you have sugar in your tea?
I normally have 1 or 2 sugars in my tea. But today I'm on the blackcurrant because I'm a kid.
Blackcurrant?
Yeah, because I'm a kid at heart.
Do you have hot squash? Do you ever have that?
Oh no, that's horrible. It's like having medicine, that is.
Oh yeah, if you ever feel ill, have some hot squash, get rid of your cold, that does.
Oh my word, no, not for me, thank you. Well, thank you for sharing with us what you're having. Now, I understand that you have been in many, many different productions because you are a professional actor. Is that right?
Yes.
There you are.
Yes, I do.
I see, I got it. And I understand that you were in, some people have never heard of this show. It's not been around very long, you see. Something called The Mousetrap, is that right? That
is correct.
Yeah, it was only on for about 2 years, weren't it? Is it no,
or 68.
oh, 68 years. Oh, right. Well, as you are here today, I thought that I would have a go at making my own mousetrap to impress you, because we are with theatre royalty here this afternoon in the mousetrap world. So here it is. It's my own contraption here. We've kind of had to make do. So it's got like a potato squasher at the top, which will then collapse when the mouse goes into it, and then the bag will go over the top of it like that. We didn't have any cheese, so I had to go with carrots. Do mice eat carrots? Because you are the star of Mousetrap, so you must know the answer.
I think they'll go for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, do you think it will work then?
I think it'll work.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'll save that for later on then. When we get on with more questions, I'll maybe bring it out later when we might need to catch a mouse. So great, we're going to have 15 minutes of chatting with you and answering some of the questions that some of the guys have sent in for you from our youth theatre and our Facebook pages and so on. So let's start at the very beginning. Tell us how you got into the entertainment world.
Oh my goodness. It's a really, really long answer, so I'm going to try and be as fast as possible. I actually, in honesty, really didn't like drama when I was a teenager because I loved performing, and I did it always outside of school since I was about 7. But I hated it in school because I was so shy, believe it or not, and I was really embarrassed, and I didn't like it in school at all. So actually, it was quite late for me to realise I wanted to act, because I think it was when I was about 16 and you had to choose your A levels. Everyone was saying, "Well, Vicky, you do all the school plays and that. Why aren't you going to go into acting?" And at that point, I hadn't considered it as an option. And the minute someone said that, I thought, "Oh yeah, I should probably do that." So that's when I took A-level drama, and that's when I really realised I wanted to do it. And I've just worked from then till now. So that's 10 years.
Oh,
that's a long time.
Same with what you said about schools, because a lot of people, at least the people that I've spoken to, say that they sort of chose drama as a bit of a, they thought it was a joke as such, sort of subject to start with. And then there's other people, like you say, are a bit scared of doing drama. What would you say to anyone who's maybe about to do or choosing GCSEs or A levels? Would you recommend them doing it in school, or is it best to go to a youth theatre or do it outside of school as fun as such?
Oh, I think it depends on what you're comfortable with. If it's something that you really enjoy, and it really depends on the school and how much they invest in the drama department. And it also depends on how good your extracurricular stuff is. I think both are really, really valuable. It's just what, if you want to do both and like do loads and loads of drama, awesome. If you don't, then that's also fine. Like I say, for me, it was more, I saw our school grow actually. When I was leaving, they got a lot more investment into the arts when I left. I was like, oh, shame. And it became like quite popular when I left. Whereas when I was at school, to do drama was actually like really rare. I think in my A-level class, there was 6 of us in the whole school, and there was like 2,000 people in the school. So it was not really known, whereas now it's a lot more popular. So I think just any experience you can get, go for it, as long as you're comfortable to.
Yeah, perfect. One of the questions, or we had it a few times, but we sort of mixed them together. And we carrying on from after school, obviously, and then onto the next stage as such. What training did you have to do to become a professional actor? Did you go to drama school, or did you just go out and get on with it, really? You know, what did you do?
That one, again, I didn't conventionally train. So I do think if you want to go to drama school and that's the route you want to go through, absolutely go for it. I did actually audition when I was 17, but I think I got to the recall stage of Bristol Old Vic, and I was chuffed with that, but that's as far as we got. It's like you say, they often like you a little bit older. So I thought, well, if that's the case, I'll just try it on my own for a while, see what happens. So yeah, I just left school at 18, worked in a pub. There was a lot of pressure from my school because I did academic A levels along with my drama. There was a lot of pressure from my school to go and do an academic degree somewhere. And at the time, I struggled actually as a teenager to say, no, I don't want to. I'd like to try acting first. So I think if you do have any of that pressure and you really are going to work hard enough with the acting, absolutely go for it. It's worth it. So I just worked in a pub, researched a lot, spent a lot of time looking into how you become an actor, and I literally worked from the absolute bottom. I didn't know anyone in the industry or how you did any of it, so I've just learned on each job, and it was 9 months before I even got my first audition. And you start off really small, like profit share, little tiny production companies. You don't make any money for quite a long time. And then you maybe, if you're lucky, you get an agent, and then potentially they get you a little bit more work, and you just slowly climb. So I did it on the job, basically, which I like.
Yeah, and to be honest, I've said this to a lot of people before, that you don't need to go to RADA to become a professional actor, for example. There is other ways that you can do it, and that's a lovely story to share, that you did a different way. You know, you didn't go to the drama school as such and go, oh, it's all over now. You did it another way, which is wonderful. So when you started off then, what was your first memory of working as a professional, let's say? When did you feel you became that professional person, that professional performer? Was it within those little, first share companies to start with?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I do remember I was actually terrified because like, oh God, I could get paid for this. I've got to be good. But actually I did a profit share production of The Tempest in a conference centre in Exeter. That was my first gig. And it was really cool. And I actually got my agent from there. They were starting a Devon-based agency. That's another thing. People think location's really important, like you've got to be in London and stuff like that. You really don't. There is so much work out there, and the world's so small now. When we're allowed to, we can travel wherever. So yeah, a little thing in Devon. So yeah, I do remember that being quite nerve-wracking because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm an actor. And someone said to me, I said, how do you know you're a professional? And the guy I was working with at the time went, well, I just decided I was. And I was like, okay, I'm professional then. But if we're gonna go for when I felt like I was ready in a sort of more obvious sense, my first proper paid gig, so that was profit share. So like we got some travel expenses and that was that. But I did my first film when I was 19, and it was an equity contract that came through. So obviously I had to get an equity card, and I had to declare myself self-employed, and that was kind of the moment where it was like, I am actually a professional actor. I'm going to have to be paid for this and do all the boring tax stuff because I've got this film now. And I remember my first day on set again being incredible, and just watching all the other actors to learn what they do. So I just felt a little bit more ready for when my scene came up, because again, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, those were the two pivotal moments, I'd say.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? As you say, you don't become a professional actor because you get a certificate or anything. You know, like when you become a doctor, I imagine you get a certificate to say you are now a doctor and you can go and do it. You sort of, well, at least I did as well. I sort of just fell into being a professional all of a sudden. I started as a stage manager, always wanted to be the actor, you know, and someone went, oh, come and do this then. And as you say, you fall into it all of a sudden, don't you? So it is a strange thing. Another one of the questions we had was, what is the best thing about being a professional actor? Is it all glitz and glam?
No, absolutely not.
I'm glad you're honest.
Well, I just think when I was younger, I thought, oh, it's gonna just be so glam. But the glitz and glam, especially in stage shows and stuff, that's saved for the audience to see. Backstage is not glamorous. You know, when you have to build the set. My first ever panto, I had to we did a tour in the back of a van. So every venue we got to, we all had to build the set. It took like an hour and a half, then get ready, do the show and take it all down again, and then drive the van somewhere else. So no, it's not glamorous. But I mean, there's a few moments where it is, where you get to go like to some film award or something. That's quite cool. Don your nice dress, or a premiere or something.
Oh, have you got any gossip from your film premiere?
No, we did win the first film I ever did. We did win a film award, and we did get to go to the film thing, and we didn't think we'd win, so we were having a right jolly time. And then by the time they announced us as winners, we were a little bit tiddly.
Oh, it was great. The closest thing that I got to an awards night, we went with our friends at Glamis Hall, where we're based. Obviously, we went to a thing at a local park, and it was the biggest con evening. They gave us they're cold profiteroles, obviously, because profiteroles are cold, and they were just like, oh, thank you all for coming, there's no winners this evening. And we're like, what? We've all got dressed up for nothing. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, but anyway, carrying on then from the glitz and glamour, someone asked, is it really all glitz and glamour on the West End? Because you are a West End star. Are you not a West End star?
I guess so. That's funny.
Because everyone thinks the West End is all like, you walk around in like you know, there's always lights on you backstage, and it's all glamorous. And is it not?
No, but it is lovely. It's different than you expect, but it's fantastic. The thing is that you've got to remember is I love my job, but it is still a job. So obviously, when you've done a show 198 times, it's just sort of the norm. It's not like, oh my God, the show. You're like, oh yeah, walk on stage, do my thing. But it's when you go in, it's quite a discreet kind of thing. So you get to your theatre and it looks all beautiful on the outside, but the actors and everyone who works backstage, you all go back through stage door, tiny little corridors, no glitz and glam at all, little kitchen, you know, microwave your food in there. And then the process really is sit in your dressing room, get ready, do your show and go home. And most days it's just quite kind of normal. I must say, having your face on the side of the theatre in the West End is really cool. especially when people, like your friends, come and watch, and you can stand next to it and look and do silly poses. And two,
have a selfie
people...
with yourself outside.
Oh, I absolutely did that, yeah. And then also, when sometimes people do want your autograph when you leave, so there's people at stage door waiting for you to sign the programs and stuff. And when that happened, it did feel quite nice, because it's what I did when I was young. I remember when I was about, oh God, maybe 7 or something, I went to watch Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I remember just being mesmerized by it, and I absolutely loved the narrator. I was like, oh my God, I want to be her. And I waited for her autograph when she came out, when it was on tour, and I just think it was really nice to meet other young performers at stage door, or fans of the show that have been for as long as it's been running. And you just get a chance to chat with people, and I had to figure out how to do an autograph. It was hilarious. So there's some bits of it that are quite funny. Quite fun.
Now, I have to, at this point, I have to invite someone to come along and ask a question as well, because when we said we were going to do a Cuppa Chat series, and it had me on it, and with a lovely special guest, someone kicked off instantly. And of course, we all know who kicks off at GLJ Theatre is the one and only Laura. So she wants to ask you a question.
Hi. I have a question, quite a funny question, actually.
Is it serious?
No, it's funny.
Oh, it's funny. Okay.
What's the blunder that has ever happened on a production that you've been working on? So.
And no stories about me and you either at this point. You even say your own thing. So.
Oh no, honestly, I've got a big one. So it was Mousetrap, and it hadn't happened in the whole 68 years. This isn't a spoiler to the show. At the very end, the whole show's done. We all know who did it. And there's like a little silly, like 2-minute scene at the end to just lift everyone's spirits again. And basically, a pie gets burnt, and at the end of the show, someone comes out with a pie and is like, oh, I think it's done. And we had to use a special effect to smell like burning pie. Now, one night, they put the burning pie stuff in a bit early, and they could smell it in the audience. And one guy just got up and went, I can smell burning. And everyone left. So,
oh no.
500 people got up and left. And my 2 friends that are performing on the stage, everyone else was waiting to come on for their bows. And all we could hear was, I think everyone's leaving. And my poor friend Molly and Max were on stage just trying to keep acting. And they were like, what? Curtain came down, and we're all just stood there going, has everyone just evacuated for no reason? And then quite a long time passes to the point where our company manager has to go out, get everyone back in, explain there's no fire and there's part of the show. And then we do that tiny scene to get literally like 1 minute left of the show, and then everyone gives us a standing ovation because it was that ridiculous. It was amazing.
Oh my goodness, that's a brilliant story. Thank you, Laura. That was good. I'm glad we got that bit of gossip there. I like that one. We've got a few more questions. We've got a couple more minutes, so we'll try and squeeze some more questions in. What is the best and worst character that you've ever performed as? So let's have the best one first. What's your favourite character?
I was going to ask, is best and worst as in like, I didn't like playing the character?
Well, I suppose, I don't know, someone
mean.
sent this in, so I would imagine that worst is in what's your least favourite one, maybe, or maybe type.
Weird.
Because I mean, you don't want to say, because I personally think that every project you can find something good out of it, and I'm sure you're the same. But maybe there's a style, maybe the person thinks there's a style that you didn't like as much. So let's start with the positive though. Let's start with the what's the best character you've played, or your favorite character?
I've got 3.
You can have 3. This is your Cuppa Chat, so you play 3.
I'm cheating, probably because I'm not going to give you a worst one, won't I? So we got Miss Casewell, obviously in the Mousetrap, was awesome because she was really aloof and strange and not particularly nice, which I found quite fun. She's quite a complicated character, and she was just cool. I felt very cool. I played a femme fatale in a noir film, and that was awesome because I get to walk around looking really funky with big long hair and a gun. That was very cool. She was evil. Yeah. So playing anything that's absolutely nothing like yourself is great. And my third favorite is, I did a show in Edinburgh 5 years ago, and I played a character called Mary, and it was set in the 1840s, and she was a maid, and she was just really, really stupid. Really stupid, but she was so sweet. But yeah, it was a comedy, so that was loads of fun too. Yeah, those are the three.
Is there one that, or a style, let's say, then, that you least like performing as, like Shakespeare, for example? I hate Shakespeare. I'm probably upsetting every actor in the world now by saying that, but I do, and kids all know this, don't you, kids? You know that I don't like Shakespeare. So is there anything that you don't like? Let's twist the question slightly.
Shakespeare I find quite difficult, actually. I don't dislike it. I wouldn't say it's my favourite genre. I think some people, when you go and watch it, it's absolutely incredible, but I find learning it really, really frustrating and hard. So Shakespeare's, not my favourite, but also I'm saying this, but I kind of don't know if it's right. I'm not particularly good at really big characters. I find that quite embarrassing, and I find improv really, really scary still. Anytime they try and make me do drama games and I have to do improv, a little part of me feels a bit sick. I don't think I'd like to do, Showstopper, the improvised musical, which I've seen and it's awesome. I couldn't do that. Absolutely not. Nope.
Oh no. Oh, you'll have to come over to us at GLJ Theatre sometimes and do an improvisation game with us. You'd hate it.
I'd be so bad. I'd hate it so much.
Oh no.
But it just makes me feel a bit, I think, again, because I remember it from being quite nervous when I was younger. For me, I really love film acting and stage acting that's really small and really nuanced, and I love that style. But I just feel really exposed. But I guess that's a good thing. Like if you feel open and you feel comfortable with all the people in the room and you're just playing, it should feel comfortable. But for me, I always feel a little bit self-conscious. Maybe I'll get better one day.
Yeah. Speaking of things on film and stage, then let's have 2 more questions. So let's do this one first, which someone sent in. If you could play one character on TV, who would you like to play? If you could literally just go, that's my role, who would you like to be?
Oh my goodness.
It's a hard question.
I'd quite like to be Claire Foy in The Crown. I'd quite like to play the Queen.
Oh, okay, you want to be the Queen?
Yeah. Or
I mean, we've done all the bits of the Queen when she was younger. You want to play an old lady version of the Queen now?
Yeah, go on then. Go on. I quite like the idea of anything period drama, just because I love especially 1940s, like a wartime drama I'd really like. But also, I think I'm gonna have to wait till I'm sort of in my 30s for this, but barristers, policewomen, private detectives, some sort of kind of crime drama. I would absolutely love to be in a crime drama. So
okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. And let's have one final question then. This one came up a couple of times, so we'll finish with this one. What advice do you have for people when they're doing auditions? Because we do auditions at GLJ Theatre, but obviously they're nothing like going for something like the Mousetrap, for example. So what advice do you give for people who are going to maybe do this professionally one day and have to do auditions?
Well, I mean, I hate to do a shameless self-plug, but basically this is why I started doing Patreon videos, because topics like that are so big and people just want to know what it might be like. So the thing is, in a nutshell, you're going to have very different auditions for different genres of work. So your film audition is very, very different to your theatre, to your panto, to whatever. For example, in a film audition, you literally just sit there. Most, like 9 out of 10 times, there's a camera there, a couple of other people. You sit there, you've been given the lines beforehand. You can usually have them on your lap in case you forget. And you just perform them like you would on screen and someone else reads for you. Whereas in stage, there's a lot more variety. You can be asked to do improv games, you can be asked to sing, dance. You'll probably be up on your feet, you'll probably experiment a bit more. But my biggest kind of advice is that they want to find someone for the role. You've been asked for that audition because you might be the right person and they already think you've got the potential to play that character. So kind of having that faith in yourself that you deserve to be there and that you put the work in, like learn your lines. Obviously, people forget. I've forgotten lines a million times in auditions. Usually the ones where I forget them and have a laugh about it, I get the job because, again, you've reacted in like a kind of chilled way rather than worrying about it. So yeah, make sure you do your prep and you learn your lines. But honestly, just have the faith in yourself that you're there for a reason and that actually they want to find someone who's right for it. So just breathe, try and stay as relaxed as you can. They know you're nervous. Go in there and just do the best you can in the moment. And then try and kind of put it to the back of your mind once you've done it, because you can't change it once you've done it.
Yeah.
Go and do something you enjoy.
Good advice. And if afterwards, when we're finished recording, maybe if you can send us the details of your video. Is it a video series you do then, or for people if they want more advice and things? Yeah,
it's it is like £3 a month if you want to do it. But like, again, I'm looking at whether I can do like packages for like schools and stuff eventually. But yeah, it's videos on everything. I've done audition prep, how to handle your nerves, what it's like on tour, choosing monologues, knowing what your casting type is. So I just try and do them when I can, because I remember what it was like, and just having someone friendly to ask and talk to. Also, there's people on there, so if you want to chat to someone else, or if you want to chat to me, you can just email me directly on there, and that way I can help someone specifically if they would want something niche.
Well, I tell you what we'll do then is we'll put the details on the video underneath, so if people do want to get in contact, obviously they're more than welcome to, because I think that would be really beneficial, especially for some of you older, maybe teenagers that are trying to get that next stage, obviously, of working professionally. That's it. I could literally talk to you all day long. You've been absolutely fantastic. Our first CUPPA Chat star. I'll get the right way in a minute, and it's been lovely. We're, however, asking everyone who takes part in this series to play a little game with us at the end. Okay. Because we said about our tea and our blackcurrant, which is now all gone. We're going to play a little game where we're going to ask our guests to name as many drinks as you can within 30 seconds. Okay. Now, whoever gets the most drinks at the end of the series is going to win 20,000 GLJ points.
That's impressive.
I know. It's exciting.
Can I have the mousetrap as well if I win?
You can. If you win, you can have this mousetrap as well. Okay. Oh, Laura says that's her anyway, don't worry about that. Right, so we're going to give you 30 seconds on the clock, okay? And you're going to name as many drinks. I'm going to write them down. Well, not write them down. I'm going to mark them. Yeah.
Can I say alcoholic ones?
Yeah. I might not know what they are. I mean,
children
do not drink the alcoholic drinks, remember. Only your mums and dads and Garys can do that. Right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Tea, coffee, lemonade, squash, Cherryade, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Oasis, Lucasade, wine, red wine and white wine, gin, beer, lager, whiskey, port, sherry, Baileys, milk, smoothies, orange juice, apple juice, cranberry juice.
That wasn't bad. We all know what's your favorite type of drink. Alcoholic drinks. We all know now, don't we? That was like the most that we had through that. So your score was 26. That's not bad.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, so
that's almost won a second.
I will put you on the leaderboard as 26. What I can tell you are in first place at the moment.
Because I'm the first one.
You are the first one, but you are in first place.
Yes.
So well done. Thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today. I hope it's going to be really beneficial. I think it will, because you've given us some really good insight into the theatre world. There's so much more we could talk about, but if you guys want to hear more from Victoria, go on to the details that are going to be below in the video, and then you can speak to her. Follow on Instagram and things like that as well. She's cool on there. So we'll share all that stuff. Thank you so much for coming with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you so much. And we'll be back next time with another Cuppa Chat star. I'll get your mouse trap sent to you. See you soon. Bye.